Listen to me. Consistency is not a talent. It's not something you're born with. It's a decision, a daily decision to show up for yourself even when no one else does. And if you truly want to transform your life, you must understand these 7 rules. Rule I-1, start with one promise to yourself. Every journey begins with one vow. I will try today no matter what happened yesterday. Even 1% progress is still progress. Rule I-2, small, take steady steps. Big goals don't require big actions. They require small actions done consistently. Because tiny steps repeated daily become powerful results over time. Rule I-3, remove the noise. Distractions will steal your potential before failure ever gets the chance. Clear your space. Clear your mind. Protect your focus like it's your future, because it is. Rule I-4, track your progress. Write it down. When you record your journey, you create clarity, direction, and self-accountability. What gets tracked gets improved. Rule I-5, build the right environment. Your surroundings shape your habits. Stay with people who inspire your growth, not those who drain it. The right environment makes consistency easier. Rule I-6, accept the tough days. There will be days you don't feel motivated. There will be days you want to quit. But consistency doesn't mean never falling. It means getting back up every single time. Rule I-7, remember your purpose. When you forget why you started, you'll start losing your consistency. Success doesn't belong to the most talented or the most gifted. It belongs to the one who shows up day after day, week to week, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when no one is watching. Consistency builds character. Consistency builds strength. Consistency builds the life you dream of. So choose to show up today. Choose to show up tomorrow, because your future depends on what you do every single day. Consistency is not about doing big things once. It's about doing small things repeatedly with commitment. This sentence is not just a motivational line. It is a complete philosophy of success and personal growth. Most people believe that success comes from one giant step, one perfect day, or one extraordinary effort. They wait for the right moment, hoping that one big achievement will suddenly transform their entire life. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Real success is built on small actions performed consistently, not on one dramatic moment. Consistency does not demand that you accomplish huge tasks every day. What it truly requires is doing simple, small actions with sincerity, focus, and dedication again and again. These small steps may look insignificant today, but with time they compound, strengthen your foundation, and create results that once felt impossible. When you repeat small actions daily, you build habits. And habits shape your life far more than motivation ever can. Motivation comes and goes, but habits stay. They guide your thoughts, your decisions, your routines, and ultimately your destiny. A successful life is never the result of one big choice. It is the outcome of hundreds of small and consistent choices made every single day. Think of it this way: reading for just 5 minutes a day may seem small, but over months it expands your mind. Exercising for 10 minutes a day may seem simple, but it transforms your discipline and health. Writing one thought each morning may look ordinary, but it develops clarity, confidence, and direction. These are not big tasks, but when done consistently, they create big changes. The real beauty of consistency is that it strengthens you from the inside. When you commit to doing small tasks daily, you build trust in yourself. You start believing in your ability to follow through. You become someone who does not need perfect circumstances or ideal conditions. Someone who shows up anyway. That is where true discipline grows. Many people work extremely hard for one day and then stop. That is not consistency. That is emotional motivation. True growth happens when you act not because you feel inspired, but because you are committed. Consistency means you understand that today's small step may feel small, but it is building tomorrow's greatness. It means you know that small actions, when performed with patience, shape your future identity. There is no force more powerful than consistency. It does not rush you, it builds you. Each day's effort becomes tomorrow's strength. What feels difficult today becomes easier tomorrow, becomes routine the next week, and becomes a part who you are the next month. Remember, this success is never created by one big action. It is created by thousands of small steps that no one sees. Steps taken without applause, without praise, without recognition. People notice the final result, but consistency is the silent journey that only you walk. And though it may look slow, it is the most reliable path to long, lasting transformation. So never underestimate the power of small actions. Small actions plug daily commitment, tough true dedication, extraordinary success. Consistency shapes your identity. Consistency builds your strength. Consistency transforms your life. Because at the end of the day, you don't become successful by doing something big once. You become successful by doing something meaningful every single day. Every day counts. Even 1% progress becomes life changing when repeated daily. This statement may sound simple, but it carries one of the most powerful truths about growth, success, and transformation. Many people underestimate the value of small daily improvements. They think progress has to be dramatic, fast, or instantly noticeable. But real, lasting change is rarely explosive. It is gradual, gentle, steady, and built through small steps that accumulate over time. That is why even 1% progress, when repeated every single day, has the power to completely reshape your life. Most people get discouraged because they focus too much on the result and too little on the process. They want major changes immediately. And when they don't see quick outcomes, they start believing that their efforts don't matter. But the truth is this: big results are the final outcome of many small actions repeated consistently. One tiny improvement may feel meaningless in the moment, but when you add 1% again tomorrow and again the next day, the growth becomes exponential. Think about it like this. If you improve just 1% every day, you end up more than 30, 7 times better in 1 year. That is the power of compounding. The small daily gains build on top of each other, and over time they create a transformation that feels almost unbelievable. This idea applies to everything: your mindset, your habits, your health, your skills, your confidence, your relationships, and your overall success. When you understand the value of daily progress, you stop chasing perfection. You stop waiting for the perfect day, perfect mood, or perfect timing. You start showing up even if the step is small, even if the change is slow, because you know that what truly matters is not how big today's improvement is, but that improvement happened. Every single day gives you a fresh chance, an opportunity to grow a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more disciplined. Every day is a chance to rewrite your future. Even if today you only improve your focus, your patience by 1%, your habits by percent, or your attitude by 1%, these tiny shifts begin to shape your identity. They make you someone who chooses growth over stagnation. And that identity becomes the foundation of long-term success. What makes 1% progress even more powerful is that it removes pressure. You don't need to revolutionize your life in 1 day. You don't need to break yourself trying to be perfect. All you need is a small step, something manageable, doable, and realistic. This makes consistency easier, and when consistency becomes a part of your life, improvement becomes a natural outcome. Small progress also builds quiet confidence. Each day that you grow, even a little, you strengthen the belief that you are capable of change. You begin trusting yourself. You start seeing possibilities instead of obstacles. You become more patient, more focused, and more committed to your goals. The transformation becomes internal long before it becomes visible to others. And that is why every day matters. Not just the good days. Not just the motivated days. Every single day. Because each one becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. Missing one day doesn't break you, but letting days pass without trying stops your momentum. When you decide that every day counts, you stop allowing excuses to control you. You begin to protect your growth. You begin to respect your potential. In the end, remember this. You don't need massive leaps to change your life. You only need small steps repeated with dedication. Because even 1% growth, when multiplied daily, it becomes a transformation so powerful that it changes not only your results, but your entire identity. Every day matters. Every effort counts. And every 1% shapes the version of you that you are becoming. Discipline is built, not gifted. You create it through daily habits and intentional focus. This statement captures one of the most important truths about success and personal development. Many people misunderstand discipline. They assume it is a natural talent, something only strong or extraordinary people possess. They believe some individuals are simply born disciplined, while others are not. But discipline is not a gift. It is not inherited, and it is not a personality trait. Discipline is a skill. One that is built slowly, consistently, and intentionally through daily choices, daily habits, and daily focus. Just like a muscle, discipline grows when you use it. And just like a muscle, it gets weak when you ignore it. People who seem highly disciplined are not different from you. They simply practice discipline repeatedly until it became a normal part of their lives. They train themselves to do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like doing it. That training did not happen overnight. It happened through small actions repeated day after day. Daily habits are the foundation of discipline because habits remove the need for constant motivation. When you make something a habit, you no longer wait for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. You simply do it because it is a normal part of your routine. Whether it's waking up early, reading, exercising, working on your goals, spending time on growth, or maintaining focus. These actions build discipline only when repeated consistently. Intentional focus is equally important. Discipline requires you to be clear about what matters and what doesn't. It demands that you pay attention to your priorities and avoid distractions that pull you away from your purpose. Focus is a choice, a conscious decision to direct your energy toward your goals instead of wasting it on temporary pleasures or meaningless activities. When you choose focus repeatedly, day after day, you train your mind to value progress over comfort. Discipline is not built on big actions. It is built on small, simple moments when you choose responsibility over excuses. It's the moment you decide to start even when you feel tired. It's the moment you complete a task instead of delaying it. It's the moment you say no to distractions and yes to your goals. Every time you make these small choices, your discipline gets stronger. People often think they need motivation to start. But motivation is unpredictable. It rises and falls. It depends on emotions, surroundings, and energy levels. Discipline, on the other hand, is stable. It is reliable. It stays with you even when motivation disappears. That is why the most successful people don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline because discipline keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. The process of building discipline also teaches you self-respect. When you follow through on your commitments, you start believing in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable of consistency. You develop trust in your own abilities. And this trust becomes the foundation of confidence. The more disciplined you become, the more you realize that you have control over your life, your habits, your choices, and your future. Building discipline is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It requires patience, repetition, and the willingness to face discomfort. But with every day that you choose discipline, you reshape your character. You become more resilient. You become more focused. You become more capable of achieving long-term goals. Eventually, discipline becomes a part of you. Something natural, something strong, something unbreakable. In the end, always remember, no one is born disciplined. No one inherits discipline. No one receives it as a gift. You build it. You practice it. You earn it. Through your daily habits, your intentional focus, and your commitment to becoming better. Even when it's hard, discipline is not something you have. It is something you create. Your purpose fuels your consistency. When the why is strong, the how becomes easier. This powerful statement reveals the foundation of every great achievement in life. Purpose is not just a motivational idea. It is the driving force behind every action you repeat, every challenge you overcome, and every goal you commit to. When you know why you are doing something, you naturally develop the strength, patience, and discipline to stay consistent, even when the journey becomes difficult. A strong purpose makes the path clear, the effort lighter, and the struggle meaningful. Every person who accomplishes something extraordinary shares one common trait, a compelling and emotionally powerful purpose. This purpose acts like fuel. It gives you energy on days when you feel empty. It gives you clarity when confusion tries to stop you. It gives you direction when life becomes overwhelming. Your purpose whispers to you, keep going even when your mind says, I'm tired. And because of this inner fuel, consistency no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a natural expression of your passion. When your why is strong, your mind learns to push through challenges. Instead of focusing on how difficult something is, you begin focusing on why it matters. Suddenly, waking up early becomes easier because you know what you're working toward. Practicing a skill daily becomes easier because you know the future it will create for you. Making sacrifices becomes easier because the purpose behind those sacrifices is meaningful. Your purpose transforms obstacles into stepping stones and replaces excuses with determination. On the other hand, when your purpose is weak or unclear, even simple tasks feel exhausting. You struggle to maintain consistency because there is nothing emotionally powerful driving your actions. Without purpose, habits feel forced, routines feel boring, and goals feel distant. But when your purpose is solid, when you understand exactly why something matters, consistency becomes almost automatic. You don't need to chase motivation because purpose itself becomes your motivation. Think of purpose as an inner compass. It guides your behavior, your decisions, and your habits. It helps you prioritize what truly matters and ignore what doesn't. It keeps you committed during failure, focused during distraction, and strong during moments of doubt. Purpose is what keeps you moving when the journey becomes uncomfortable. And the truth is, no lasting growth happens without discomfort. But when discomfort has meaning behind it, it becomes much easier to handle. Purpose also strengthens discipline. When your why is powerful, you stop relying on mood. Instead of asking yourself, do I feel like doing this? You ask, does this action bring me closer to my purpose? This shift in mindset changes everything. You start valuing progress over perfection. You stop quitting easily. You stop letting fear control your decisions. You become someone who stays consistent because the purpose inside you is stronger than the challenges outside you. A strong purpose also builds emotional resilience. It helps you stay calm when things go wrong. It helps you stay hopeful when you feel stuck. It helps you keep faith in yourself and your journey. Even if progress is slow, your purpose reminds you that every step counts. Every effort matters. Every day contributes to the bigger vision you hold in your heart. In the end, purpose and consistency work together like a team. Purpose gives you direction and consistency takes you there. Without purpose, consistency dies. Without consistency, purpose is never achieved. But when you combine both, you become unstoppable. Your actions become aligned. Your growth becomes continuous. Your dreams begin to take shape. So always protect your purpose. Define it clearly. Strengthen it deeply. Remind yourself of it daily. Because when your why is strong enough, every how becomes possible, every challenge becomes manageable, and every goal becomes achievable. A strong purpose doesn't just fuel your consistency, it transforms your entire life. Consistency is not built in a single day, nor is it the result of a sudden burst of motivation. It is shaped slowly through quiet choices, disciplined habits, and a persistent belief in your purpose. Each rule you've learned today is more than just advice. It is a roadmap to a stronger, more focused, and more resilient version of yourself. When you choose commitment over excuses, small progress over perfection, and purpose over comfort, you begin to transform your entire life one day at a time. Remember, your journey is not defined by how fast you move, but by how committed you remain. Even on the days when you feel slow, tired, or uninspired, showing up for yourself is an act of strength. Consistency is built in these moments. The difficult mornings, the quiet efforts, the unseen sacrifices. This is where champions are created and futures are rewritten. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a declaration to the world that you refuse to give up. You are training your mind, shaping your discipline, and aligning your actions with your purpose. And when your why stays strong, your how becomes unstoppable. So walk forward with confidence. Hold your purpose close. Build your habits with intention. And remind yourself daily that consistency is not just something you do, it is who you become. The life you dream of is not far away. It is being built by the choices you make today, tomorrow, and every single day after that. Stay committed, stay focused, and stay consistent. Because your future self is counting on you.